Even. Sorry about that. Good evening. Thank you very much for coming. This is Standing Committee on Social Development. Today we will have a public hearing on Bill 57, an act to amend the Employment Standards Act. Before we go, I will ask Ms. Green to open up with a prayer. Thank you.
We gather together here today intent on doing good work. We seek to represent fairly and well those who have given us this task. May our efforts be blessed with insight, guided by understanding and wisdom. We seek to serve with respect for all. May our personal faiths give us strength to act honestly and well in all the matters before us. Amen.
Thank you, Ms. Green. Review and adoption of the agenda. One item. Do you have a mover? Moved by Mr. Bolio. All in favor? Any opposed? Okay. Declaration of conflict of interest. Seeing none. We will now get my colleagues to introduce themselves, starting on my left.
I'm Tom Bolio, MLA for Tuneda-Willady.
Good evening, Michael Nada, MLA for Dexco.
Julie Green, Yellowknife Center.
No, I think we're good. Good evening. My name is Shane Thompson. I'm from the Henday. On my left is April Taylor, who's our policy analyst, and on my right is Jennifer Frankie Smith, who's our committee clerk, and Cynthia James, who is our clerk as well. This evening, the Standing Committee on Social Development is holding a public hearing on Bill 57, an act to amend the Employment Standards Act. The Standing Committee on Social Development is a committee of regular members of the Legislative Assembly. The bill we are reviewing today was introduced by the Minister of Education, Culture and Employment, given first and second reading in the Legislative Assembly, then referred to the Standing Committee for review. Legislation is typically brought forward by Cabinet and is reviewed by Standing Committee. The members of this committee are responsible for holding the government to account, and one of the ways we do this is by making sure that the proposed laws are supported by the people of the Northwest Territories. It is our responsibility to consult with residents on what they like or don't like about the bills. We would like to hear your views and comments, which will be used by the committee to identify any changes we'd like to see made to the draft legislation, and which we will then report back to our colleagues in this assembly. The bill proposes to amend the Employment Standards Act to extend the period of entitlement to unpaid parental and provide for parental sharing of leave, extend the period of entitlement to unpaid compassionate leave, provide entitlement to unpaid family child givers leave to allow for individuals to care for family members who are critically ill or injured, provide an entitlement to pay and unpaid family violence leave, extend the definition of family members that applies in with respect of the bereavement leave, compassionate care leave, and family caregivers leave. List those occupations which youth are not permitted to work, and establish regulations making authorities related to these changes. There are copies of the bills on the tables. Please help yourself. If you'd like to share your views with us today, please let the clerk know. We'll be sure to you'll get on the list. If you are viewing the evening's proceeds and would like to provide committee with written submissions, we accept them by email until August 2nd, 2019 at 5 p.m. One final piece of housekeeping. Please remember that all submissions will be part of the official committee records and may be reflected in our final report. Any submissions made during the meeting may also be televised or broadcast via social media. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for your patience in allowing this introduction. And with members' agreement, we shall now open the floor to comments from the public. Do committee agree? Agree. Thank you. What's it? Fernanda Martin? Miss Fernanda Martin, please come on up.
Good evening. Thank you very much for this opportunity to make comments regarding Bill 57. The Canadian Cancer Society, in cooperation with the Northwest Territories Senior Society, has provided written submissions to the committee, as was called for a few weeks ago. And we also participated in the public consultation process that the ministry conducted prior to the drafting of the legislation. But having learned of the public hearing today, I thought it would be wise to take the opportunity to reinforce some of the recommendations that we've made previously. The Canadian Cancer Society is a national community-based organization of volunteers whose mission is the eradication of cancer and the enhancement of the quality of life of people living with cancer. Over the last 80 years, the Canadian Cancer Society has been a champion of healthcare improvements and innovation. As Canada's largest health charity, we fund world-class research, advocate for strong health policy, and help people with cancer and their families by providing evidence-based information on cancer-related issues. We are in full support of Bill 57, an act to amend the Employment Standards Act, which provides job-protected leave to caregivers and allows those who qualify to avail themselves of the respective employment insurance benefits for their full duration. Living with cancer is a tremendous burden on any family to endure. Family caregivers must have easy and timely access to supports and services they need when providing care for an ill or dying loved one at home. Job-protected leave for family caregivers will help alleviate the burden placed on families providing care and will help improve the quality of life for those in the Northwest Territories suffering with advanced cancer. Family caregivers are the backbone of the healthcare system and play an integral role in the healthcare continuum, providing a great deal of unpaid care, which is estimated at more than $25 billion in the year 2009, so it would only be more now. Family caregivers take on the duty of providing care for an ill or dying loved one at great cost to themselves personally, financially, and in terms of their own health and well-being. In addition to psychological, emotional, spiritual, and personal care, family caregivers may provide medical care such as administration of medications and injections, as well as services and care coordination. They carry out all of these responsibilities under great stress and concern for their loved one, in an environment where they have varying levels of support from the healthcare professionals. A family caregiver loses approximately 23% of their workable hours to provide care and support, which can result in lost wages. In 2009, for new cancer cases, the estimated wage loss was $3.18 billion. Taking on such an important job should be made easier through job-protected leave for family caregivers. In addition to the extended leave provisions in Bill 57, we also recommend that sick leave period in Section 29 of the Employment Standards Act be extended to align with the Federal Employment Insurance sick leave benefit period. As Canadians live longer with longer careers, more people are likely to develop a chronic condition while in the workforce. The Northwest Territories Bureau of Statistics indicated on May 3rd, 2017, in the age and sex type of dwellings portion of the 2016 census, they point out that those aged 50 and older showed the largest growth between 1996 and 2016. Many of these older age categories more than doubled in size and in total currently comprise 20% of the population. With the extension of caregiver leave periods, caregivers will have better job protection than an individual who is facing a disease as serious as cancer themselves. The extension of the caregiver job-protected leave will make caregiving responsibilities less of a financial burden to families in the Northwest Territories, but it is also time to alleviate the burden on people who themselves have cancer. The Canadian Cancer Society recommends that the government address this inconsistency by extending job protection to match the employment insurance sickness leave benefit period, which is now 15 weeks. Workers can't help if they are diagnosed with cancer, so providing practical support like job leave is an important thing that employers and the government can do, as many other jurisdictions are aligning job protection leave with the federal program Providing job protection is another way that Northwest Territories employers can remain competitive and retain their workforce. Thank you very much.
Any questions with Martine? Okay, seeing none, thank you very much. And we do, is that the same presentation you sent to us, mailed to us?
No, it just enhances what I'd said before. So
Can we get a
I
copy
can
of
send
that
as well.
for-
Thank you very much.
Ms. Martinez? Ms. Martinez? Okay.
Amanda, can you give us a copy of that presentation?
I will send it to you, yes.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Sorry, that I said that.
Yeah, no problem.
The fans are making it hard to hear.
Is there anybody else that wishes to speak on this? Okay. If there are no further comments or presentations from the public, do members agree that this agenda item is concluded? Thank you. On behalf of the committee, I'd like to thank everybody who joined us today. As MLAs, it's a privilege to be here and to hear directly from you. When we make a report in the upcoming sitting of the Legislative Assembly, we will highlight the feedback we received during these meetings and from public submissions. If you still have questions about the bill or want to make a written submission, please talk to the committee clerk. You can also visit our website at www.assembly.gov.nt.ca. I will now adjourn this public meeting. Thank you very much.